So this is a roller that I built, it's a food plot roller just out of parts from my backyard, and bought some concrete. I think if you had to buy everything new, you'd still probably spend maybe $100 or so. And so stick around to see how I put it together and if it works. I'm going to start with this chunk of black PVC culvert. It's a double walled culvert, 15 inches across, and I cut it to 56 inches in length. I got it for free from a friend of mine. It was a little bit longer, but I wanted to cut it down and make sure this thing is going to be about 5 feet wide with once the pipes and the pulling system are added onto it. I also want to make sure that it'll fit onto a 6 foot wide utility trailer that I plan to use to haul the thing around. I don't have to get an implement trailer just to move this thing. So part of the reason why I decided on 56 inches was just for that, just so it stays under 6 feet total when it's all done. Next thing I've done is I found a couple of pieces of pipe I had laying around. One was it's a 2 1/8 inch inside diameter piece of galvanized pipe. I cut that down to 57 inches. It's an inch longer than my 56-inch culvert, so I got a ½ inch sticking out the end. Just you'll see later on why I did that. I didn't want the pulling system rubbing on the concrete the whole time. But the other one is it's about a 1 3/4 inch outside diameter piece of pipe. This is probably an eighth, maybe 3/16 inches thick. It's a little bit heavier. I don't think a really light duty pipe would be good for this because you're going to have a lot of force pulling on it. So you can see here the smaller pipe will fit inside the larger pipe. This one will be anchored into the concrete. This one's going to be just free to spin in there as the thing gets pulled. The next thing I've done is I've taken a couple of pieces of 1/2 inch scrap plywood and basically set the culvert pipe on the bottom piece here, drew a circle around it, did some very complicated math to find the center. Not really, but I found out that it's about, my hole is going to be 2.5 inches around, and it's 6 inches from the edge of the hole to the edge of the culvert pipe to center the pipe in when I put the concrete in. I also went and drilled 4 holes. I'm going to put these countersink screws through there into the culvert just to hold it on there on the bottom when I flip it over and we set the pipe in. So when it goes into the culvert here and we pour the concrete, it's going to set right in there flat, right flush with the ground, and it'll be screwed to the bottom of that. And then I made one for the top also, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't use a full round one, because once it's on there, I'm going to need to have room to get the concrete in. So that's why I did it that way. Again, same thing, 2.5 inch hole, about 6 inches from the edge of the hole to the edge of the pipe. I've got the plywood screwed on the end there, and that bigger pipe slid into the hole. There's the top side. But I want to make sure when I stand it up to pour the concrete in that this doesn't slip down further into the gravel. I want to make sure it stays flush here, so I have the same amount sticking out on each end. So I'm going to go ahead and just screw another chunk of plywood to the base, make it a little bit more, it's a little bit bigger piece too, so it'll be a little more sturdy when it's standing up when I'm trying to get the concrete in there. Okay, so I got that mounted on there. I think it's going to be pretty sturdy when I'm filling it up. Another thing I'm going to do here before I put the concrete in there is just screw a piece of plywood on to go over that hole of the pipe so I don't get concrete down in there. That was a tip I saw on somebody else who did a homemade Cultipacker on YouTube. They put some, I think there's a sticking up further, here. I mean, they put some duct tape on there or something. I'm just going to screw a piece of plywood on right there just to cover it up. So that's going to be ready for the concrete. All right, well, I used up all 7 bags of the sack-crete there. It didn't go bad. It was maybe 20 minutes worth. It actually went really well. However, I think if I had had 9 bags of sack-crete, I'd been a little better off. I'm about 8 inches short from the top, which is kind of a bummer. I got to get some more concrete and do this again, but no, I guess it's not that big a deal. Anyway, hey, some helpful math for you. If you're going to build a roller and you want to build a 48-inch roller with a 15-inch double-walled PVC culvert, 7 bags of sack-crete is perfect to get you a 4-foot roller. You're going to need 9 60-pound bags if you're going to do one for me, like 5 feet, or 56 inches actually here. One thing I learned about this is I'm glad I didn't make a 6-foot roller because 5 feet was just plenty high to shovel that concrete, down in there. You could bucket it in, I guess, taller or get a ladder or something to stand on, but this was kind of nice. I could reach up and get it in there, but it wasn't too hard to get it in there. So 6 foot would have been a little bit more work or a little bit more of a challenge to get it up. So while the concrete's sitting there, I'm going to work on the pulling carriage here. So this is the bigger pipe sleeve that's in the concrete right now, same size. And then I got the 1.5 inch outside diameter pipe in there. It's going to basically just freely roll inside that once this is all put together. Found these, I had a couple of these iron or maybe cast iron. They're dock post supports. You slide the 1.25 inch outside diameter pipe, goes right in there, and it holds up a dock, and then you run bolts through to your wooden dock frame, or piers or whatever you call them. I just happened to have 2 of these laying around and figured I'll give that a try. I hadn't initially planned on using them until I found them. I thought that might work pretty well. So I'm going to slide those right on the end right there like that. Tighten that set screw, keep it from sliding off. And then I've gone and cut a couple of pieces of angle iron that are 11 inches long. And I'm going to bolt them right on there like that. And then I'm going to weld, I got this cleaned up to weld the front. There'll be an angle iron bracket going across the front of the roller here to help keep it cleaned off, and of course also to hold everything together. But this is the other side, the bracket that's been made. It slips on there. I got it bolted on. Slide it up on that tube and hit the set screw, and I think that's going to work pretty well. Alright, so I think I got everything laid out here that I'm going to need to finish this. Got my end pieces there. I had to buy this piece of angle iron. It's 62.5 inches long. It's a 1/4 inch thick, 2-inch piece of angle iron. And I had to buy that one. That's 48 inches long. It's a 3/16 inch thick by 2-inch piece of angle iron. I had this one already, so I matched it. I think I spent 20 bucks, a little over 20 bucks for those 2 pieces of metal right there. That and the sack-crete, that's all I've really got into this thing for money. I had this 2-inch piece of pipe laying around. Made that hitch out of there with some heavy flat 3/8 inch or 1/4 inch flat. Welded that on there. So now I'm gonna just weld the whole thing together, kind of like how I've got it laid out here. Here's a look at the pulling carriage all welded together. I've got it upside down just so you can see a little bit better how those dock post holders are mounted on there and how it's all welded up. I did add these little square chunks of 3/16 inch metal just to fill in a gap there. I thought it'd be a spot where it'd be maybe a little bit likely to bend, so I added that just for a little bit of reinforcement. But one of the things about this is there's no bearings and there's no grease or anything on this anywhere. It's basically just a small pipe not rolling inside of a bigger pipe that is rolling. So if anything's going to wear out on this thing, it's probably going to be this pipe, but it's easily interchangeable if it does. So I guess I'm not too worried about it. I don't know how many miles, 50 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles. I don't know how long you have to pull it before something like that did happen. So there it is, all assembled. Boy, it's heavy. I don't know how much that thing weighs, but 500 pounds. I guess I could do the math on the sack-crete concrete. But anyway, I don't know if it's going to need any paint. I might get some paint on it. I'm not sure, but I guess I'm not too worried about it. But it does seem to roll pretty well. It pulls and rolls pretty nicely. I guess if I have any concerns about this at all, really, is it just that this is a dual-walled culvert, and it's hollow underneath those, under those rims there, because this culvert has a solid sleeve in it. So if I were to do it again, or if I had a choice between culverts, I'd probably use a metal one, or I don't know, a single-walled culvert would be hard to keep straight probably with that pipe in there because it's so much more flexible. That's my only concern, is that maybe these things will push in if you hit rocks and stuff over time, but right now it seems to be holding up pretty well when I roll it around, so I guess time will tell. Just a quick note too, the overall length on the thing is 6 feet from the tip of the hitch to the back of it, and it's 63 inches wide at the widest point on there. So I just put it to the test. I rolled about an acre or so of field that I tilled up here, and it seemed to hold up real well, and it also seemed to do a real nice job. Doesn't seem like the roller pipes have given any wear in there. Yeah, it just went along real nice, flattened it out real well. I gotta say, I'm real happy with it. I can't say I have any complaints. It's heavy, so it's hard to move around without machinery, but other than that, it worked out pretty fantastic. Well, hope this gave you some ideas. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.